So we're going to do 47 of I Am That, and the title is Watch Your Mind. Questioner. In one's search for the essential, one soon realizes one's inadequacy and the need for a guide or a teacher. This implies certain discipline, for you're expected to trust your guide and follow implicitly his advice and instruction, yet the social urgencies and pressures are so great, personal desires and fears so powerful, and the simplicity of mind and will, essential in obedience, are not forthcoming. How to strike a balance between the need for a guru and the difficulty in obeying him implicitly? Maharaj, what is done under the pressure of society and circumstances does not matter much, for it is mostly mechanical, mere reacting to impacts. It is enough to watch oneself dispassionately, to isolate oneself completely from what's going on. What has been done without minding, blindly, may add to one's karma, otherwise it hardly matters. The guru demands one thing only, clarity and intensity of purpose, a sense of responsibility for oneself. The very reality of the world must be questioned. Who is the guru, after all? He who knows the state in which there is neither the world nor the thought of it. He is the supreme teacher. To find him means to reach the state in which imagination is no longer taken for reality. Please understand the guru stands for reality, for truth, for what is. He is a realist in the highest sense of the term. He cannot and shall not come to terms with the mind and its delusions. He comes to take you to the real. Don't expect him to do anything else. The guru you have in mind, one who gives you information and instructions, is not the real guru. The real guru is he who knows the real, beyond the glamour of appearances. To him your questions about obedience and discipline do not make sense, for in his eyes the person you take yourself to be does not exist. Your questions are about a non-existing person. What exists for you does not exist for him. What you take for granted, he denies absolutely. He wants you to see yourself as he sees you. Then you will not need a guru to obey and follow, for you will obey and follow your own reality. Realize that whatever you think yourself to be is just a stream of events. That while all happens, comes, and goes, you alone are, the changeless among the changeful, the self-evident among the inferred. Separate the observed from the observer and abandon false identifications. Question. In order to find the reality, one should discard all that stands in the way. On the other hand, the need to survive within a given society compels one to do and endure many things. Does one need to abandon one's profession and one's social standing in order to find reality? Maharaj, do your work. When you have a moment free, look within. What is important is not to miss the opportunity when it presents itself. If you are earnest, you will use your leisure fully. That is enough. Question. In my search for the essential and discarding the unessential, is there any scope for creative living? For instance, I love painting. Will it help me if I give my leisure hours to painting? Maharaj. Whatever you may have to do, watch your mind. Also, you must have moments of complete inner peace and quiet when your mind is absolutely still. If you miss it, you miss the entire thing. If you do not, the silence of the mind will dissolve and absorb all else. Your difficulty lies in your wanting reality and being afraid of it at the same time. You're afraid of it because you do not know it. The familiar things are known, you feel secure with them. The unknown is uncertain and therefore dangerous, but to know the reality is to be in harmony with it, and in harmony there is no place for fear. An infant knows its body, but not the body-based distinctions. It's just conscious and happy. After all, that was the purpose for which it was born. The pleasure to be is the simplest form of self-love, which later grows into love of the self. Be like an infant with nothing standing between the body and the self. The constant noise of the psychic life is absent. In deep silence, the self contemplates the body. It is like the white paper on which nothing is written yet. Be like that infant instead of trying to be this or that. Be happy to be. You will be a fully awakened witness of the field of consciousness, but there should be no feelings and ideas to stand between you and the field. Question. To be content with mere being seems to be a most selfish way of passing time. Maharaj, a most worthy way of being selfish. By all means, be selfish by forgoing everything but the self. When you love the self and nothing else, you go beyond the selfish and the unselfish. All distinctions lose their meaning. Love of one and love of all merge together in love, pure and simple, addressed to none, denied to none. Stay in that love. Go deeper and deeper into it. Investigate yourself and love the investigation. And you will solve not only your own problems, but also the problems of humanity. You will know what to do. Do not ask superficial questions. Apply yourself to fundamentals, to the very roots of your being. Question. Is there a way for me to speed up my self-realization? Maharaj, of course there is. Question. Who will do this speeding up? Will you do it for me? Maharaj, neither you will do it nor me. It will just happen. Question. My very coming here has proved it. Is this speeding up due to holy company? When I left last time, I hoped to come back, and I did. Now I'm desperate that so soon I have to leave for England. Maharaj, you are like a newly born child. It was there before, but not conscious of its being. At its birth, a world arose in it, and with it the consciousness of being. Now you just have to grow in consciousness, that's all. The child is the king of the world when it grows up. It takes charge of its kingdom. Imagine that in its infancy it fell seriously ill and the physician cured it. Does it mean that the young king owes his kingdom to the physician? Only, perhaps, as one of the contributing factors. There were so many others, all contributed. But the main factor, the most crucial, was the fact of being born the son of a king. Similarly, the guru may help, but the main thing that helps is to have reality within. It will assert itself. Your coming here definitely helped you. It's not the only thing that's going to help you. The main thing is your own being. Your very earnestness testifies to it. Question. Does my pursuing a vocation deny my earnestness? Maharaj, I told you already, as long as you allow yourself an abundance of moments of peace, you can safely practice your most honorable profession. These moments of inner quiet will burn out all obstacles without fail. Don't doubt its efficacy. Try it. Question, but I did try. Maharaj, never faithfully, never steadily. Otherwise you would not be asking such questions. You are asking because you are not sure of yourself. And when you are not sure of yourself because you never paid attention to yourself, only to your experiences. And you are not sure of yourself because you never paid attention to yourself, only to your experiences. Be interested in yourself beyond all experience. Be with yourself. Love yourself. The ultimate security is found only in self-knowledge. The main thing is earnestness. Be honest with yourself and nothing will betray you. Virtues and powers are mere tokens for children to play with. They're useful in the world, but do not take you out of it. To go beyond, you need alert immobility, quiet attention. Question. What then becomes of one's physical being? Maharaj, as long as you are healthy, you live on. Question. This life of inner immobility, will it not affect one's health? Maharaj, your body is food transformed. As your food, gross and subtle, so will be your health. Question. And what happens to the sex instinct? How can it be controlled? Maharaj, sex is an acquired habit. Go beyond. As long as your focus is on the body, you will remain in the clutches of food and sex, fear and death. Find yourself and be free. All right, that is the end of chapter 47. I'll come back and do 48. Namaste.